With that,
Yeah.
we have 32 and 32, and our most important defensive player on the list.
Yeah, the final Garrett. 2 spots are pretty easy. I hardly think there's going to be a debate.
Yeah, it is a debate.
Why?
Because Elijah Moore is number 1.
Shut up, Tyvis.
Tyvis, you're out of pocket for that.
Hey, I like that.
Hey, Tyvis, next week, could we do – I just thought of this. Could we do a football vocabulary lesson from Coach Tyvis, but also words from the streets that Bull has to know? So you could teach him – teach the fans out there what cover 3 is, and you can teach Bull what cat means and some other things that Bull should know.
Listen, I may be 50, okay? But I grew up in New York City.
52.
I grew up in New York City.
Sure you put that
I didn't grow up in the sticks like you did, my friend, or Anthony. You guys grew up in the sticks. I grew up in the city with all kinds of different people, all right? My high school was a melting pot. We had everybody represented.
There were no emojis back in the 60s, Bull. It doesn't matter where you grew up.
Different vernacular in those days.
He was in the trenches. He's from the bottom.
Bro. Yeah.
Stop playing with his
Exactly.
name. Stop playing with his lineage.
Ty, can we do that next Wednesday?
Yeah, we'll come up with some terms. I got faith in Bull.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun.
That would be fun. In fact, I'm a little disappointed that you didn't have a game prepared for today, because we the three of us mostly love playing these different games. And I'm a little disappointed, Mike, that you didn't have a game prepared for us today.
Well, I had.
It's a big letdown.
Whatever. We'll get.
Yeah.
We have some stuff, especially.
All right. So Myles Garrett, what are we going to say?
Myles Garrett is he's the key to the defense. I mean, the way he's been playing for his whole career, but particularly this year, this is the first year that a defensive coordinator has put him in a technique and a scheme where he can thrive. I don't even know how necessarily much you can double team a guy that's in a wide 9, because if he goes out around you and the tackle and the tight end tries to go around, like, that's opening it up for a slice down the middle. So I think Jim Schwartz is smart enough to know that if you try to make Myles Garrett a decoy, like, you're going to hurt yourself by sending blitzes and stuff like that. So I think this could be Myles Garrett. It should be Myles Garrett's most productive year. He's come out many years and said it's up to this defense. We got to carry this team. They said that last year, and obviously it was a huge letdown. Well, this year it can't be that. Like, it's so much they've done from a front office standpoint to get this defense to where it needs to be for them to take that next step, and he's a key part of it. I mean, a guy who's going to live really in one-on-one, maybe 2, maybe try to get double teamed a little bit, but on a one-on-one side, he should eat lunch. I mean, he's been killing the Browns' offensive line this whole year, which has made them better. And I just think that if he don't get defensive player of the year this year, it might not happen.
It's not.
That's
what I think. Happen this year,
it is. They've done everything they can to make sure that you win DPOY.
It is. It's stunning to me. And Tyvis is right, but I hadn't really thought about it until you said that, and it's mind-blowing.
From a scheme standpoint?
That they've never had a scheme that's perfect, as good, for 2 reasons. 1, he's been so good despite that.
Yeah.
But 2, he's your best player, and you've never had a system that's great for him until now. That's nuts.
Well, that's just part of what we do here in Cleveland. We like mediocre, medium sauce guys. we
Sad but true.
We just like guys that are in their gap, and we praise them. And he's just a solid guy. And these boring sports talk radio programs, and then they want to get to Myles Garrett. He's just, I want a little more. You don't want no more in your life. You don't want no more than you got. You've never been good at anything. You've never been great at anything. And you telling me you want Myles Garrett to have more, that's a talking point. He's already the best defensive player that has ever wore a Browns jersey. That is not debatable. It's not. He's all like we talk, we love Clay Matthews. I like him. I like Michael Dean Perry. Listen, we got Chip Banks and some of these other dudes, Eric Turner, and we no disrespect to Minifield and Hanford Dixon.
No Justin Gilbert?
No Justin Gilbert.
Jim Brown?
Jim Brown didn't play defense.
Oh,
you said defense. I thought you said best Browns player.
Right. He's the best defense.
So Joe Hayden didn't play for the Browns?
No, he's out of here.
Come on now.
Tyvis Powell wasn't a member of the Browns for a good OTA.
Y'all can combine and be a transformer and still not be better than Myles Garrett.
What about Courtney Brown in '99?
You can put him, Cameron Wembley, and what's that other?
Barkevius Mingo.
Kiki Mingo.
Isn't that amazing? G is right. He is the best defensive player in the history of this franchise. and we still feel like he can be better. Maybe we're crazy. I don't know.
Listen, and the crazy thing about it is he flipped his car, dog. Did you see that man's car? It looked like he looked like, have you ever seen Unbreakable?
Walked out of, opened the door and walked out of.
Bruce Willis, and he slowly but surely.
Everybody else died on the train, and
he's like, hold on. Do I have superpowers or something?
Yeah.
And Mr. Glass had to tell him, you dummy, you flipped a Porsche. You got out and played the next week.
He didn't play the next week.
Samuel L. was.
He tried to. He tried to.
Mr. Glass.
Oh, nuts. Top notch. Top notch. But by the way, if you missed that, go ahead and check that out. It was a very good
trilogy. Right?
What a thing.
The second one called? That guy was.
He was like a literal beast. He was on the wall.
Yeah,
Ed Norton was
not Ed Norton. He's a British dude.
It is.
I can't think of his name, but that movie was scary.
Well, the thing about Myles Garrett that people get upset with him about is that, when you think about, for example, it happened last year, coming into the season, the defense was supposed to be the focal point and he was supposed to be a big part of it. And then obviously with the quarterback situation, then you go around the league and you look at guys like Michael Parsons. They lose Dak Prescott and Michael Parsons becomes that game wrecker. Now, don't get me wrong, he's faced double teams, but Myles Garrett is getting triple. And he got more help on his side.
Demarcus Lawrence.
Exactly.
Star player.
And then you think of TJ Watt. It's like he's such a game wrecker. And it's like, he went with, I guess the record with him on the field is their wins and losses is totally different and blah, blah, blah. And everybody looks at Myles Garrett and says, well, why is he impactful like that? And I think you hit it on the head.
Because your quarterback is trash.
No, it's not the quarterback.
Well,
but that's not what I'm talking about.
Well, he hasn't had the scheme or the talent.
Exactly. It's been the D-line. And I think this is the first time as a front office they looked at it and said, let's go ahead and get everything we can from a coach and a scheme and players.
The three problems for Myles Garrett have been scheme, talent around him, and I'd say his ability to stay healthy.
Even though everybody thought Jadeveon Clowney was supposed to, his first year he was productive. He had 9 sacks.
Yeah, I mean they had, you had 1 year where you had Sheldon Richardson here, gave him some help.
That was
But top to bottom,
this is the best he's ever had.
The best talent around him, not even close. It's the best coach they've had, not even close. If he stays fully healthy this year, there's no reason he can't legitimately break the sack record. It's not easy.
Here's a stat record, or not stat record, but here's a stat you guys should know. If Myles Garrett can replicate his sack production from last season, which he had 16, he'd become just the second player in NFL history to record 3 consecutive seasons of 16 or more sacks. Can you name the other?
Michael Strahan.
Reggie White.
Got it.
Yeah. By the way, you guys are banned from using that chart until you fix it. It's got to be in order. It's inappropriate.
Why is it? Why is that chart out of order like that?
That's ridiculous.
I was looking at that too. I didn't want to say nothing.
Because when I made that when we did the deep dive into Myles Garrett, when I broke down all his sacks. And I was just looking at other notable, because there are other players that are also in that category. I was looking at notable guys and where they go.
Are you able to just change it, or would you have to make a whole new graph?
I have to make the whole new one.
That's such a stupid system.
But next week, when we have new game stats, we're redoing all of our graphics. So everything you see will be replaced and replenished with brand new stuff.
Beautiful.
So. Will it be a Coach Tyvis segment next week?